The moment the entire world has been waiting for, Nvidia earnings are out. I've been investing nearly 30 years and I have not seen a stock be as important to the market as Nvidia is right here, right now. We're talking about a $4.5 trillion market cap, the largest company in the world, headed to $5 trillion plus. Why? Because Nvidia just crushed earnings, a beat on the top and bottom lines, and the guidance is higher than any number out there. So non-GAAP EPS $1.30, beat by 4 cents. That revenue, $57 billion in a single quarter. That's up 62.5% year over year, and it beat by almost $2 billion. A quote from Jensen: Blackwell sales are off the charts and cloud GPUs are sold out. Compute demand keeps accelerating and compounding across training and inference, each growing exponentially. The AI ecosystem is scaling fast. If you're a shareholder, this is music to your ears. New foundational model makers, more AI startups across more industries, more countries. AI is going everywhere, doing everything all at once. To the naysayers, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Nvidia stock is going to go higher. We're going to look at a chart later, but I want to break this down for you. This guidance, revenue expected to be $65 billion. Now the consensus was $61.84 billion, and I saw a street whisper of $63 billion. Crush that. $65 billion. Gross margins expected to be 74.8% and 75% respectively. That's good. We want to keep it around that 75% number. As soon as those gross margins start to slip, you might see the stock slip as well. So these are record blowout numbers, guys. Data center revenue, $51.2 billion. So this company bringing in $57 billion in a quarter, it's basically all GPUs. $51.2 billion is going to be for data center GPUs. We're talking about up 62% and up 66% from a year ago. Now those numbers are going to start to slow down, but we're talking about big numbers on top of big numbers. You used to see 200%. Of course, you can't grow at 200% exponentially forever. It just doesn't work that way. The growth is still absolutely insane right now for Nvidia. So that revenue, again, year over year, up 62%. Gross margin, 73.4%. Now, if you look at Q3 FY25, it was 74.6, but it did slip to 72.4. So this is a positive because we are up 1% since Q2. And the good news is that guidance I showed you earlier is even higher. So 74.8% and 75% respectively. So that number is improving. And these are the GAAP numbers up here, non-GAAP down here. Now, if you didn't watch the most recent GTC event, it was absolutely mind-blowing. When you look at this chart, you know that this is not over yet. This AI cycle is not done. And right now we're focused on data center GPUs, but Nvidia has a bright future in areas like quantum computing, autonomous vehicles, robotics, and more. Nvidia is at the cutting edge of technology, and they just keep pressing the envelope every single quarter. If you follow Nvidia, you know that they literally partner with everybody. They partner with the universe, I said once recently. This is the new industrial revolution, AI. And so we really started with chatbots, but it's going to get more into robotics, manufacturing, robo-taxis, and more. You think about right now, chatbots, enterprise AI agents, we've got a long way to go when you think of science, robotics, manufacturing, and more. What makes Nvidia very powerful too is it's completely soup to nuts. So you're talking about that Cuka software, the hardware and the software together makes this unstoppable. That is the moat. Jensen Huang, the CEO of Nvidia, is all about going beyond Moore's Law. And these chips, these machines are becoming more and more powerful every single quarter. Recently, Jensen Huang told us that he's expecting $500 billion for CapEx spend in 2026. And just so you don't think I'm making numbers up here, you can see Jensen Huang disclosed in October that the company secured $500 billion or $500 billion worth of chip orders for 2025 and 2026 combined. But then 2 days ago, Jensen says $500 billion forecast will come up at Q3. So on earnings, we're talking about $500 billion in orders for its chips that are at the heart of the AI boom. So what that's showing you is that Nvidia, even though it doesn't have all of the CapEx spend out there, it has pretty much all of it. It has the large majority. It's dominating the GPU market share for data centers around 92%. And I just want to always double check my work. You know, this is actually saying 92% Q1 of 2025, Q2 94%. Broader estimates, I mean, up to 97%. So no matter how you slice it, they're dominating 90% plus market share. You got analysts out there saying Nvidia just crushed it again. Love it. Of course, you've got bears and bulls on Nvidia, but Nvidia proved those naysayers again wrong. And you're seeing a lot of these AI names that are attached to Nvidia go much higher after hours in the pre-market for tomorrow. Now, off topic a little bit here, but Palo Alto, I'm probably gonna be buying some shares. It is down after earnings, and they are gonna buy this company called Chronosphere. It's an observability platform. That's interesting. I need to do some research on that. Shilling out $3.35 billion. That's part of the reason why the stock is down. But these numbers are solid, guys. This dynamic illustrates that the AI market is not nearing a top despite transitory deflationary phase, potentially greenlighting a year-end rally for top AI stocks and other high-quality names. You'll probably see that Santa rally, maybe even an extension and a blow off top in early 2026. It's hard to say. Right now, though, the fundamentals, the data is there to support stock prices, especially in the AI trade at higher prices. So when you look at this curve, this is 2024, we're in 2025. This cycle is not over. This is showing you to 2027. There's still money to be made in Nvidia. Now, I've been long in the stock since under $4, as you guys know, but I think the stock's gonna go higher. I'm gonna show you a chart here in a second. Now, if you follow someone like Dan Ives, he was on CNBC recently, and he said that he thinks Nvidia is 5 years ahead of the competition, including AMD. Now, even if you don't believe 5 years is a number, you have to, if you're smart and you've done any research, you know that Nvidia is ahead of the competition. If you look at this on your screen, Blackwell, we're already talking about Blackwell Ultra, then Rubin, and so on. Every 6 months, every half a year, we're coming out with a new, faster version that crushes the older model. You know, here's the Vera Rubin super chip. We're talking about 2 terabyte fast memory, 6 trillion transistors. The numbers are just mind-boggling. If you understand how small these transistors are and how is it even humanly possible to create these things, they are beyond my imagination. Now, I could nerd out on Nvidia for hours, and I know you don't have the time. But Nvidia, the cool part about this too, is we're starting to build these chips on US soil. Taiwan Semiconductor in Arizona, also manufacturing these small supercomputers in Texas. So Nvidia leads AI open source, and this is showing Nvidia versus Alibaba Cloud and all the competition. Nvidia is just smoking everybody. Now, some people have negative things to say about these AI startups, but they're building on Nvidia. And they're buying Nvidia chips, and Nvidia is taking that cash. They're bringing in all this money. They're turning around. They're investing in these companies. As long as AI continues to do well, Nvidia is going to keep printing money. And there will be a cycle to that, but that cycle, again, guys, is not over. And like I said earlier, Nvidia partners with literally the entire universe. You know, here we got Amazon Web Services, you got Google Cloud, and you can just go on and on. Microsoft Azure, Oracle, ServiceNow, SAP, and a lot of these companies compete against each other. SAP competes with Oracle. It doesn't matter. Everybody's doing business with Nvidia. Synopsys, Cadence, one of my favorites, CrowdStrike, and these are really cool graphics too. Palantir, hey, who doesn't like everybody that's watching this probably owns some Palantir stock, at least hopefully bought some at $10 like we did, right? Another cool Palantir visual here. Nvidia, guys, like I said, I could go on for hours. Nvidia is crushing it. It's not going anywhere. The stock is going higher. I still have over 2,000 shares that I'm riding. Oh, and here's that Foxconn factory in Texas. Really cool stuff going on. Caterpillar building factory digital twins on Nvidia, humanoid robots built with Nvidia, agility robots built with Nvidia, Johnson & Johnson building medical robots to compete against Intuitive Surgical, Nvidia and Disney Research, advanced robot learning. I mean, just on and on and on. These guys are just crushing the universe. And I think one of the largest opportunities for Nvidia in the future is going to be autonomous vehicles. And Nvidia is working with companies like Mercedes-Benz and Stellantis, Lucid, you can see the names here. Partnering with Uber, I told you earlier, they're partnering with the entire universe. Nvidia, absolutely crushing it. Nvidia is the most valuable publicly traded company, of course, on demand from AI chips. Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and Oracle and Meta are all key customers. Jensen said cloud GPUs are sold out. A small segment of Nvidia's professional visualization reported 760 million in sales, up 56% year over year. Highlighted robotics is one of the most important growth areas. Third quarter automotive and robotics sales totaled 592 million, up 32% on an annual basis. Nvidia also said that it made $12.5 billion of share repurchases and paid $243 million in dividends per the quarter. $243 million is not very much. The dividend is 0.021%. So people ask me, is this a growth stock or a DJF? Well, technically it's a DJF, but it's not really big enough to even count. So just call it a growth stock with a micro dividend on it. You can see the stock is up about 4% right now. It's trading around $194 a share. And it was really cool watching these numbers come to fruition. If you follow this channel, we told you, hey, you're going to see 150 bucks, then you're going to see 175, then you're going to see 200. And to see the stock actually hit those numbers as we called them. And we were telling you, if you don't own the stock under $100, you need to be buying this stock. It's going to be worth at least $150 in the next 12 months. This was back in April of this year. I'm telling you right now, this stock, the R3 is $258. Nvidia will be $250 a share. If not, it's probably not going to happen this year. And it might not even happen in Q1 of 2026. But sometime between now and the end of 2026, the stock is going to be between $250 and $300 per share. You can see it got up to this past this R1 Fibonacci 212, pulled back. Right now it's sitting right on that 100-day moving average. More than likely, the market kind of sold off into this. Now we do have some key data tomorrow, some macro data on the jobs. That jobs data could spook the markets, and you could actually see stocks like Nvidia, the whole market roll over. That could happen. This 200-day moving average is down here at like 152 bucks. But at some point, this is going to consolidate. Maybe here, maybe lower, depending on what happens tomorrow. When it consolidates, it's going to go to $232 to $250 and probably even $300 with time. Of course, I can't provide financial advice. You got to do what's best for you, your money, your portfolio, and your blueprint. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel, click that bell for notifications, drop a like, drop a comment. Thanks for watching. Take care.